To thread the bobbin up, you put the case in so that the thread comes off anti-clockwise, and first the thread gets put through this little slot here, which is like 7 o'clock on a clock face. You then draw the thread between this notch, between the notch and the spring, and it comes back and up and out. You need about 4 inches of thread to be drawn out before you can close the plate here. Okay, that's then done. So as you can see, there's the bobbin case. You put it in so that the thread is coming off anti-clockwise. The first threading you do, you can hold the bobbin case while you do it. It goes to this little notch here, first one. Okay, down along that little gap, as you can see, I'll try and zoom in. There's a gap there, but you can see that between the notch and the spring, and then it comes up, out the other notch, and out over the top. Okay, that's the bobbin case done on the Singer Sonata. Okay, for threading the machine, the top thread, raise the needle and press a foot to the highest position, then lead the thread from the spool onto the spool pin, snap it into the top thread guide by grasping the thread with 2 hands, follow the arrows, thread across the top of the machine, down the right hand channel through the tension discs, under the bottom of the channel separator, and up the left hand channel. Then at the top of the left hand thread channel, pull the thread to the left into the self threading take up lever, then down to the needle going through the guides and onto the needle clamp. Don't thread the lower guide if you're using heavy thread. Lower your presser foot, thread the needle from front to back, drawing about 4 inches through. And there's the guide they show. So you've got your spool there, going through the guides there, snap down there, goes down there, number 2. Then you go up again, as you can see, and you then go down again, through all the guides, threading the needle from front to back. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I've got my spool here. The Singer Sonata comes with a large number of built-in patterns, straight stitches, zigzags, buttonholes, lots of numerals, okay, lots of symbols, a scripted alphabet as well, okay, and I'll show you some of the other patterns here. You can read them as you go along. Okay, and then on the other page here you've got other ones starting here at the top with icicle. I'm going to choose the pattern number 93, which is surf. So I make sure that my machine is set on this dial here so it can do zigzag, so the needle can move from side to side, and I'm making sure that the stitch length is not too tight. I've only set the tension dial here to number 2. They recommend about 3 to 5, but I set it quite loose. And at the back of the machine, this adjuster control, I've set it to number 2 to be a little bit wider, and I'm just using a bit of basic felt here, and I'll see how I get on at a fairly slow speed they recommend for these pattern stitches. Right, so I'm looking to do a surf pattern. Got my foot pedal there, got my cloth there, okay, and there's my presser foot there down on the cloth. I'm using some simple felt, so just hold it not too far away from too close, but from where it's going, try and feed the material through. On pattern 93, don't press too fast. Of course, you can put guides up, little pencil guides along your fabric where you want to sew it, nice and steady, okay, and this should produce a nice surf pattern which could be used for anything from a headband or anything you want really. So let's have a look and see what's happened on the other side of the fabric. Oh, very happy with that. There you go, look at that. That is just absolutely superb, and that's just one of the many patterns that you can do on a Sonata. Made in Italy, this machine. Okay, so let's try the snowflake pattern 95 next. As you can see, it's quite an intricate pattern, that one. And it's for decorative borders and top stitching of things. Of course, I've used it for making little prezzies for people. Right, so I want 95. So over to my Sonata. This machine, as you know, is the one I fixed. It was totally seized up. Sold for parts not working, but I fixed it. 95. So we should be ready. I've got my felt here under the needle. It's all threaded up. I've got red thread on the spool at the top, as you can see, and in the bobbin case below. So away we go, and the idea is not to go too fast on this, okay? There you go. Just hold it gently. Allow the machine to work its way through. And this one's going to take a lot longer because each snowflake obviously needs the machine to get going on it. It's a highly decorative pattern for the Sonata, and it's got a printed circuit board. And I showed you when I opened the machine up to fix it, how it really does literally make the needle dance. This one here, you have to be very patient as you make the snowflakes. Okay, so that went well. Let's try the next one, which is 87, feather and leaf, for decorative stitching as well. Here we are doing feather and leaf, which is an intricate pattern. In order to program a message, a word on gift bags, for instance, like Merry Christmas, or just Christmas on its own in its shortened form, or It's Christmas, you have to use the programming method. First of all, you have these pattern stitches here on the Sonata, and you basically have to look up the number for each letter or for each hieroglyphic or symbol that you want to put on, and the space is available as well. I'm going to program the word snow with a heart after it, so I need to look up S, then number 28, then N, which is 23, O, 24, W, which is 32, and the heart symbol at the end there, you can see it's number 38. So I need to program those numbers in. Basically, I use the up and down arrows here, and then you press enter, and when you finish the end of it, then you can press start, and the machine will then carry on stitching what that word is until it comes to an end, and it'll finish. It'll do that on its own when you press the electronic pedal here for the sufficient amount of time. Once you have programmed in the letters, you need to press the MRC button. That will then hold in memory the patterns that you're using, and you of course have got well over 100 different patterns you can choose from, these letters, etc. If you want this machine to carry on sewing your string of patterns together from your letters you selected with the symbols, then you need to press the MRC button twice after you've entered which of these single patterns you want it to do, for instance numbers and letters, etc. And here we have the word snow, and it has heart after it, and you can see you have to use your stitch ripper just to pick out the little lines which it's done in between them. Also, if you're doing one, you may want to do the pattern once, as I've done first, just to practice before you do it on a tag. It's best with these, you can do the lettering on a tag which then can be sewn on, or if you're using better quality fleece or even felt, it should go straight on, and you can then do simple messages such as "Let it snow" and "Christmas" and "Merry Christmas," etc. straight onto your patterns. So good luck with your sewing machine, even if it isn't a Singer Sonata. Just hope I've given you a few ideas, and this is for the festive season. Hope you have a Merry Christmas and get making things on your Sonatas or similar machines. Just to show you, these vintage machines should never be chopped out until you're sure that there's not a simple fix, because of the beautiful, beautiful stitchings you can get from these. Well worth the effort. Look at that superb choice, and you can put words on this as well.